Hey everybody, it's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, November 24th, 2024. Phyllis is alive! She's alive! Now somebody bring her a makeup bag. Maybe a silk robe. Maybe a sedative. I think they should fill the room to the brim with balloons and flowers. However many flowers there were at Abby and Devon's wedding, double it. Phyllis deserves the biggest congratulations of all, the biggest celebrations of all. Welcome back. Oh, she is fearsome and she is fierce, and if she could jump out of that hospital bed right now and go tear Sharon's head off, she would absolutely do it. And if she doesn't do it now, she's gonna do it in a couple of days. Mom Bear gonna shred Sharon to pieces. Oh, I can't wait to see that. Thank goodness Phyllis is alive and awake. Even Christine was like, I can't imagine a world without Phyllis, but I'll try. Second she stepped out of that hospital curtain window, she said, but I'll try. Oh, I loved all of the Phyllis sentiment this week, especially Lucy, but especially Summer, because Summer had the greatest line. She said, Mom, please wake up so that you can say to us your 4 favorite words. I told you so. That is so true. Phyllis told y'all so. And she did not waste any time destroying Chance. Oh man, she held his feet to the fire. She was ready to flop out of that bed like a fish and try to find her phone, which had those text messages from Sharon, and which would prove that Sharon also ran her off the road. So add that to the list of charges. Chance also told Phyllis that Michael is going to be Sharon's attorney, and ooh, dang, I wouldn't want to be in Michael Baldwin's shoes, coming face to face with Phyllis, defending Sharon over what she did to Phyllis's son. Why would Michael even take that job? Sharon doesn't want a defense anyway. She's more worried about what she's gonna wear to prison. Did you see that? Did you notice that? Sharon said, all right, I'm gonna go to jail, but first, an outfit change. She went upstairs to change her outfit to go to jail. She had her confession outfit, but then she changed into the jail outfit, which was white blazer, white blouse. Because nothing says prison time like white. Dang, she really knows how to accessorize. To dress. I'm surprised she didn't run upstairs and put on a black and white striped outfit, though. That really would have driven the point home. Well, I was surprised that we didn't see the arrest. What's up with that? No arrest? Maybe we didn't see it because we actually did see Sharon get arrested in a nightmare a couple of weeks ago. I don't know. Maybe Y&R just wanted to save all of that drama for Daniel. Gold star of the week goes to Daniel as he was laying into Sharon. When Chance told Daniel that he was off the hook for the murder charges, he did not waste any time. He didn't even need to be told or confirmed that it was Sharon. But when it was confirmed, man, he marched right over to Sharon's house and he just unleashed on her. It was so raw. And it was just absolutely fantastic. I mean, Daniel knows that Sharon killed Heather, but now he thinks that Sharon also tried to kill his mother. And Daniel wants vengeance. He is so angry. He said he wants hard time for Sharon. No mercy. But Daniel also wants answers. And Sharon didn't really have any to give him. I thought it was interesting that when Sharon confessed everything to Nick last week, she told Nick that her original plan was actually to kill Daniel, but then she didn't enlighten Daniel with that little detail. It would have honestly been so dramatic to just hear Sharon shout out, "I didn't mean to kill Heather, I meant to kill you!" Oh. But that didn't happen, and Sharon didn't really have much of a defense. She told Michael, "My defense is, I have no defense. I'm guilty." Too bad she didn't just say that when she burned down the ranch all those years ago. Victor called Adam and Nick out to the ranch this week to get their opinion on the fact that a murderess is living right down the lane. I mean, I'm guessing that's true. Well, is the new ranch house closer or further away from Sharon's cottage? That's an important question that will have to be revealed. But Victor is concerned because Nick, of course, is very defensive of Sharon. Nick believes that Sharon, in her right mind, never would have done any of this. And so she deserves help, not scorn. Well, Adam, on the other hand, when asked about Sharon and his opinion on Sharon, Adam just kind of stood there like, you got me. Sharon's not really my problem anymore. Victor went on about how mad he was that Sharon was the one that burnt down the ranch in the first place, and then he had to rebuild it for Nikki. And Adam just stood there with this totally underwhelming reaction, considering that Adam was up to his eyeballs in covering up the fact that Sharon started that fire. Nick is the one trying to rescue Sharon today, but way back then, the rescuer was Adam. This week, I am so excited, so proud to present you with a brand new Y&R Chat Flashback special all about the ranch. I'm talking the ranch fire, Sharon's spiral, Adam covering it up, Nikki and Victor's grief, the fan angst, all of the drama going on behind the scenes at the time, then the ranch rebuild, then the migration to the horsey room, from 2012 all the way up to 2024, 2 weeks ago, when Victor rebuilt the ranch again as a grand surprise for Nikki. I'm covering it. It is so good. Take a listen to this. Hey, everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to the ranch.
Does anybody know where Sharon was the night of the fire? A little swig for me? A little swig for the curtains. She burned down the ranch, you guys! And there they both are, standing in the rubble. Sharon's life is in shambles. You can rebuild the ranch, but how do you rebuild a human being? And Adam is going to these extreme lengths to help her. There's an arsonist in Genoa City, and it's on the writing team.
The Y&R Chat Ranch Flashback Special, available now at genoacitysoap.com. OMG! So freaking good! Let me tell you, this is an hour and a half of previous Y&R Chat audio segments spanning, probably a dozen Y&R Chats, all sliced together with all new commentary that I just recorded, telling the story of the ranch from 2012 when the fire was started up to 2024 just now. It is honestly the most unique flashback episode that I have ever done, because when I started this project, I just wanted to go back and find out, what was I thinking? What was I saying about the ranch fire when it happened in October of 2012? And I was shocked to go back and listen to the Y&R Chat from that week and find out that I wasn't really all that outraged about it. The outrage actually grew over time. It sunk in and settled in over about the next 6 months or so. And so it was just absolutely fascinating to go back and relive how that happened, because I just wanted to hear that one episode, and I so quickly became compelled by the plot that was left smoldering, absolutely smoldering in that fire, namely with Sharon and Adam and Chelsea. And let me tell you, going back and listening to these old Y&R Chats, I was completely flooded with memories, mostly also about the behind the scenes drama that was going on at the time, because let me tell you, that behind the scenes drama really fanned the flames of what was going on screen. It really fanned the fan flames. The fan flames were fanned. In the past, I've put together 2 previous Y&R Chat specials, the Poolside special and the Soap Kids Are Screwy special. And both of those were centered around a topic, but I pulled examples from various storylines throughout history. This flashback special is different because it tells a story. It tells the story of the ranch and the ranch fire and everything after that through the eyes of someone who is watching it for the first time as it's happening. And it really truly is fascinating. I really truly am proud of it. I really think that you guys would like it and love it. So if you would like to treat yourself a little bit and support Y&R Chat at the same time, you can go to genoacitysoap.com to get that episode for $5. It helps support Y&R Chat, and you're going to get something really cool out of it. You would have the chance to stream it on YouTube or add it to your podcast app, or you can just download it and listen to it on your device. It's an hour and a half of really fun audio flashback. The website is genoacitysoap.com. I know you're going to love it. It's hot. Victor is going to hit the roof when he finds out that Sharon wasn't the one that killed Heather. And we know this, Sharon doesn't actually even remember killing Heather, because this week Jordan said that she took care of it. So Jordan and Ian had a hotel room powwow this week and revealed that their plan all along was, I guess, to drive Sharon to murder Daniel or whatever, set her up, and then get her to go to prison forever. But since Sharon developed a conscience and got real clever with trying to cover things up, the plan went awry, And so it took a little longer than Ian and Jordan anticipated. Now, right now, Ian is very interested in knowing exactly how Sharon's family is reacting to the news, specifically Mariah, and he mentioned Faith too. But for those of you who don't know, Ian Ward is a former cult leader. And Mariah was like born into this cult and became a de facto follower of it. And Ian was obsessed with her. He tried to marry her, I think. I'm trying to remember it all, but he's twisted. He is a twisted sister, and this is no doubt a plan to get at Mariah, but maybe even a plan to get to Nikki too. Ian didn't mention Nikki, but Nikki was one of his original cult members back in the day with Paul. And I believe Ian Ward raped her, I want to say. Wasn't he like thought to be Dylan's father? Ugh. So I don't know. Here's Paul Dillon's father. I can't remember how it all shook out, but there was a concern at least that Ian Ward was Dillon's father. But if Ian's plan is involving Nikki, then, oh man, this is going to break open Nikki's brain. She's going to lose it. I mean, if she finds out that both Jordan and Ian, two of her tormentors, two of her horrible tormentors are out on the loose, well, it is a good thing that Victor removed the bar from the new ranch. I'll just say that. We know Jordan is dangerous. We've dealt with her recently. Ian Ward is very dangerous, I think more than we even know. It seems like his cult leader charisma is almost working on Jordan, or he's trying to, because Jordan revealed that Ian basically helped her do an ID swap somehow, and so everyone thinks that she is still in prison, but she's really out. So somebody's in prison pretending to be her, and meanwhile she's out sneaking around getting ready to do his dirty work in exchange for her freedom. And I think Jordan's in deeper than she has any idea. I think she's going to find out that she's quickly in over her head, because Jordan thinks that this is a partnership. She's telling herself that she's in a partnership with Ian, but I think that she too is trapped in his cult of personality, and he has already been threatening toward her when she tried to deny one of his requests. So, I don't know, it sounds like she's in deep. She's also counting on some crisscross from him too, I guess for some help, you know, with her, I think he called it family problem. I'll help you with your family problem if you help me with yours. So, wow, double trouble. But Ian apparently is out of prison legitimately. Jordan isn't. So Jordan can't be seen just like anywhere around the Newmans since she's supposed to be in jail. But she's being forced to go do Ian's bidding and find out how the family's reacting to the Sharon situation. So Ian told Jordan to go digging around in her bag of disguises. Sweet. Sweet. Ooh. What clever disguise is she going to come up with next? How can she top being a man? Well, let me guess. I at least have a guess or a suggestion. I think Jordan is going to show up in one of those horse costumes where like one person has to be the head and one person has to be the butt, but somehow tricky Jordan is going to pull off both roles on her own. I have to say, I was genuinely surprised to see Summer basically almost real close to breaking up with Chance over everything that happened with Sharon and Phyllis and Daniel. I mean, I don't know. That felt almost like it came out of the blue a little bit, because I feel like maybe we needed to see a little more turmoil between them before now, because I thought that Summer and Chance were getting through it. I thought that she was seeming pretty understanding. I thought they were both seeming pretty understanding of each other's position. But then, the moment Daniel was exonerated, Summer was like, nah, I was right, you were wrong, and now I feel justified to just go ahead and break it off. Okay. Well, Chance temporarily destroyed Daniel's life, I get that, but he also did help save Phyllis's life. Doesn't that count for anything? And also, I don't know, he was following the evidence that was there. I mean, we know, because we're, omniscient, but I still kind of feel like, well, he was just kind of trying to do his job. He may not have been great at it, but he was kind of trying to do his job. And I kind of can't believe that Summer is going to ruin another relationship over her mother. The same thing kind of happened with Kyle. Summer got duped by Phyllis into helping Phyllis with her whole fake death thing. And it destroyed her relationship, her marriage with Kyle, because Phyllis was trying to frame Kyle's mom for her death. But now, here she is again, Summer, destroying her relationship with Chance, because he chose to follow the evidence instead of listening to her mother's theory about Sharon. I mean, I get it. And I guess it's probably better to free Chance up to hook up with somebody else. But who? But who? I mean, I know who's next for Summer. And it's Kyle again. We saw another scene of Summer and Kyle bonding right before she broke up with Chance. But of course, we're also seeing a whole lot of scenes of Kyle and Claire bonding too. So I think we know what the points of the triangle are here. Kyle's triangle with Claire and Summer is far more interesting to me than his harumph over the fact that Mom and Dad tricked him. I don't know. He acted like a child, and he got treated like a child. It seems like karma to me. But Kyle doesn't see it that way. He feels fooled, and he feels like a fool, and it's very embarrassing for him, and it's very demoralizing for him. And Diane just wants to band-aid his boo-boo by giving him her job at Jabot. I think that is totally wrong. Kyle stole product ideas from her laptop. Product ideas that belong to the family company. And then he's just rewarded with a co-CEO position? No! I think that Diane is only suggesting any of this out of guilt, and I am glad that Jack is thinking more clearly, although I hope that doesn't cause additional problems between them now that they're, finally revealing that there are no problems between them. But there was this moment this week when Jack actually said, no, I don't think this is the right move to make Kyle CEO. I don't want Kyle stomping around Jabot like an entitled Victor Newman or something. I loved that. I loved that because entitlement is what it is. And I think that Billy is guilty of it too, honestly. Jill sold her company. She left Billy out of a job. And Billy goes to Jack. And and asked to be Jack's co-CEO of Jabot to save his reputation from the Newman media onslaught. But co-CEO is Diane's job, which everyone thinks she has vacated because they're still pretending to be separated. But even if they weren't separated, Diane wants Kyle to have that position, not Billy. And so Jack tells Billy that he can't give him that job. But then Billy immediately crumples in on himself, and he goes back to these old habits of thinking, and he starts declaring himself as not good enough, as no one in the family believes in me. Look, Billy, good enough or not, Jack doesn't owe you a job, and neither does Jill. Sorry, it sucks that she sold the company and made absolutely no provisions for you, but, you know, that's how it goes. And also, by the way, the provision for you will probably be the massive inheritance that you will have coming, not from one side, but two. But, you know, I get your disappointment, Billy, but throwing a fit over the whole thing is not helping your case. Maybe humping the pain away will help. It's as good of a strategy as any. Ooh! Billy and Sally! Am I the only delicate flower here who thought that that sex scene was absolutely scandalous? Okay. So the whole thing was just a montage of different foreplay positions and during play positions, but there was this one short flash of a moment where Sally was straddling him on the chair, and we got this like whole view of it, and I was like, damn! I almost had to avert my eyes. And then I had to back it up and play it again and almost avert my eyes again. I'm not even kidding you. I grabbed a screen cap of that. But then I chose not to post it to the website because, no kidding, it was too graphic. I'm not even lying. I had to check myself and say, okay, Allie, we are not running a porn site here. I'll just not post that pic. I mean, obviously everyone was clothed, but my virgin eyes are just not used to seeing such graphic material. Oh. Bravo, Y&R! Bravo! I mean, I don't know if you're going to be able to make a Billy and Sally fan out of me, but you darn sure did shock me with those sex scenes. Glissade. Glissade has become this white elephant that nobody wants. Victor just gave it to Diane. Just gave it to her. Like it was an unwanted Christmas present. Here, you take it. Free of charge. Diane is obviously right to be wary. I mean, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, especially when Victor Newman is involved. I want to know what's up with this. The whole thing sounds like a Trojan horse to me. Because Victor seemed to indicate that once Diane opens the horse, she's going to find something bad inside. But like what? A fruitcake? I don't know. Oh, one more thing, sort of slightly off the topic of Jack and Diane. Oh, okay. I have concerns. I have some concerns about Jack and Diane's conversation in the green screen park on Thursday. The green screen park. I feel like we were just there for Heather's funeral. So during that scene, all I could think of was Heather's funeral. And of Chancellor Park, of course. Because where did Chancellor Park go? There is no comparison between two characters sitting on a bench in front of a green screen and two characters sitting on a bench in beautiful, lush, scenic Chancellor Park with all of its color and all of its texture and its dimension. Please tell me that this is just a temporary replacement for the winter. We're just taking that set down, using a green screen a little bit longer. When spring rolls around, it's going to be a different story. It better be anyway, because if spring rolls around and we start to see characters having picnics in front of the green screen, I'm not going to be happy. But sometimes in life, chances just dry up. They do indeed. That was our quote from last week. Jill said it to Billy, explaining to him why his time was up. Well, sometimes chances just dry up. Lots of winners on that one. Congratulations, Ron, Big Al, Wonderful Wendy, Kayla Rose, Brittany, Dolores, Justin, Sue W, Henry, Tanya, and Diana. Congratulations, you guys. All right, are you ready for a new quote for the week? I know you are. Tragedies happen to good people. Who said it? If you think you know who said tragedies happen to good people, go to yrchat.com and find out. Now, guys, I gotta tell you something about the Who Said It quote game. It's been going on a really long time. The game itself has been around for since the beginning of Y&R Chat, really, really quickly, but it has a technical problem right now, so I'm going to have to change it. And I don't want to, but I kind of have to. And for posterity, let me just tell you about this technical problem that I have with the Who Said It game. I know you're going to love this. It's fascinating. Here's the behind-the-scenes scoop. Okay. So Y&R Chat requires a server that serves all of the information that transfers between me and you. So that's every click, comment, photo, poll, podcast stream, quote, entry, everything Y&R Chat happens through this server. Well, let's say there's a busy week. In fact, let's say that there's a week where Y&R rebuilds a classic set, and there's a wedding, and there's a fiery crash, and there's a dramatic rescue, and there's a double shocking twist reveal of not one but two villains. Well, that's a week where the server has a lot of work to do. So, on your end, it might mean that you notice that the website is loading a little slower or a lot slower. But on my end, it might mean that I don't receive one of the Who Said It quote entries because the server has timed out after you submit it, but before it's actually delivered to me. So that means that sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I won't receive an entry, and that means that somebody's name gets left out. And that happened to me at least twice last week because it was a busy week. And the thing about that is, there's really nothing I can do about it. I can't control the server, and I can't control how often people are using the resources that are on that server. And I can't control if Y&R is like a really big week and a bunch of people want to come chat about it, or if it's a totally of a dud week and nobody's chatting about it. And if you really, really want to get complicated on it all, technically I'm sharing that server with potentially 1,000 other websites, so their website's usage affects it all as well. Now, I don't want anybody to feel bad for getting left out of the game. That's not the spirit of it at all. It's the spirit of it is fun and extra cool Y&R stuff. So I think the Who Said It game is just not going to work anymore in the same way that it did a decade ago, when web hosts and servers were like, sure, use as much server space as you want, unlimited. That's literally the case. When I started Y&R Chat, they were like, unlimited. I'm like, okay, cool, awesome. I'll just build this really big site and not think about any of that. And then, a decade later, suddenly they're like squeaking you down, like, oh, we can no longer offer unlimited services. But you're still stuck with this gigantic, site with a million moving pieces that's now has decade-old information, decades-old photos and posts and all that stuff and quotes. But I love doing the quotes. I love doing the games. It's funny because I was just thinking, I wish I could do like a picture scramble game or something. I mean, I like games. And so I want to keep doing them, and I want to keep doing the quotes, and you'll notice that I did give you a quote this week, and you can still guess it, and you can still go to the website, and put, and find out the answer. But the thing is like, instead of sending the entry to me, now the answer is going to be revealed to you instantly. So that's how I solved that little problem. Go to yrchat.com, find the post with the quote on it, click on it. There's going to be a little arrow button, and you can click or tap that, and that's going to reveal the answer to the quote instantly. So you're more playing with yourself, but at least there's still a game to play. And plus, this is the best part. If you get the quote answer right, then my spirit will actually appear to you just like Nick did in all of Sharon's fantasies. And I'm going to be standing there all shiny and good looking with a soft yellow glow. And I will whisper to you, congrats, Chatter. You did it. Now let's make love. Always looking for upgrades. Always looking to improve. Bet you didn't guess that now there was going to be a supernatural element to the Who Said It game. Oh, well, enough about Y&R quotes. Let's do some Y&R chatter quotes, starting with Diana, who says, I really liked the background scene of Jack and Diane sitting on the park bench talking. It's a refreshing change from the same outdoor park set where we only see some flowers, vines, lattice, and fence. We got to see fall trees, people, cars, and grass in the background. It is very much appreciated. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad. I love an opposing point, Diana. And it was a very active background. I can definitely give it that. It was a moving background, and that makes it different. So I will give it that. It's just so hard for me to go from beautiful textural Chancellor Park to the flat, non-3D, non-textural background. And I don't want it to be permanent. Oh, as soon as I saw that green screen come up, I started getting nervous. I'm like, how are we going to use this? And it better be right. It needs to be right. But here's another set note from Diana, which I totally agree with. Diana says, one thing that bothers me about the new Newman Ranch set is the little area to the left of the front door looks exactly like the athletic club front lobby by the door. The area where the coat check is, it looks too similar and therefore reminds me of that area in the athletic club every time I see it. I don't want to think about the athletic club when I'm at the Newman Ranch. It seems minor by the same, but at the same time, it's kind of ruining my experience of enjoying the new ranch set. I want to feel completely immersed in the set and feel like I am there. This visual always makes me feel like I'm at both places in a way, which is a little bothersome when I see that part of the house. Just wanted to throw that out there. I hope Y&R changes this, as maybe other fans will notice too and mention it. Still love the ranch, though. Diana, I had the same thought this week. I mean, no kidding. Like, we just shared a brain wavelength this week. Because literally, I think it was when Diane came in, I had this moment of like, this feels like the athletic club. Because you walk in the door and then there's that staircase. It's not just the foyer. It's like you walk in the door and there's staircase to the right. It's exactly the same layout as the athletic club. And I totally agree. It throws off my perception of being at the ranch. I don't want to complain, but that is the one complaint that I had right off the bat, the location of the door. It's very athletic clubby. It's supposed to be ranchy. But the other thing is, I understand, I bet you they did it because they wanted to be able to show people coming in and out and to have that little bit of an outdoor area, but I don't need it. Obviously they couldn't do it on the opposite side because we have to have the atrium, but I don't know, I don't need a front door. I would kind of rather it just look like the way it used to look and people come in from that other space where the front door used to be. They're not going to change it, though. This is it. They are not going to, like, suddenly do away with the door. We're just going to have to adjust, I think. I don't like it. But Russell likes it. Russell says, I loved the front door today when Diane came over and Nikki got to spit barbs at her. The lighting coming through the window, I just still love it so much. Well, Russell, it is beautiful. The lighting that comes through the window is beautiful. The tiling on the floor is beautiful. It just doesn't feel like ranch. Like Diana said, it feels like athletic club. I feel like such a brat complaining about my wonderful gift. I am. I'm being a brat. I'm going to drop it. Because Gary asks a fantastic question. Will Nikki and Victor host a big Thanksgiving dinner? You know what, Gary? When I saw the preview for next week, and I was honestly, I saw the preview of Nikki and Victor, and it seemed like something was going on that was like a family event. Didn't dawn on me that it was Thanksgiving. All I could think was how great Nikki looks. She had like a smoky eye and maybe shorter hair. I can't wait to see that. But I mean, looking at her and looking at that preview, I thought to my God, she looks 20 years younger. What is this? Thanksgiving, apparently. Will there be a kitchen? Ah! Will there be a kitchen is the question. Another comment about sets and trinkets. I couldn't leave this out because Naomi says, the green monkey-looking figure on the mantle at Sharon's house is giving me the creeps. Many of her scenes at her home have that monkey in the background, and she needs to give it away to somebody that she's not friends with. Dang, Naomi, I hate that green monkey, and I am so glad that somebody finally said it. There's so many other things to cover on a weekly basis with Y&R. Every time I see the green monkey, I think, I hate that green monkey, but I have never had the space to say it, and you've just given me that. You've just taken it, and I agree completely. Sue W. says, didn't Phyllis and Nick have some inside joke or memory or something connected to the ceramic monkey? Yeah, they did, Sue W. They had the hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil monkeys, and that's part of the reason why I hate that green monkey, because it feels like it's in the wrong place. Like, that shouldn't be at Sharon's house. The monkey shouldn't be at Sharon's house. It should be at Phyllis's house. I don't know, maybe it, like the turn of century, somebody at Y&R got a really good deal on ceramic monkeys and they just couldn't pass it up. They had to put one on every set. Gary says, there looks like there's a witch's globe or something that is large on a podium near the Abbott coffee table. Who observes this? Whenever it falls upon my eyes, it kind of shocks me. What is it? It's the Abbott family crystal ball. That's what I always think. It's an orb. It's a crystal ball / orb. It's magic. It has magic powers. You didn't know? That's where the Abbotts do their magic. We don't see that part of the show when they have their magic ceremonies. Gary, by the way, I also liked, I think you called Jordan and Ian the Witch and the Warlock this week, and I thought that was funny. Oh, well. Well, new topic. Sue W says, I am reading a novel, and one of the characters is said to have, quote, watched the house as religiously as Mama watched Victor Newman on The Young and the Restless. Even fictional characters are Y&R fans. Ooh, Sue W, were you just shocked and delighted? You're just reading a novel, not thinking about Y&R, and then all of a sudden a Y&R reference within it? That's so good. What's the novel title, if you want to say? You don't have to. I mostly, I mostly read trashy. If I read, it's usually like a trashy romance that I would not want to admit to. So I don't blame you if you don't want to give us the title. But speaking of Victor, last week I asked you guys, did Jill make the right choice to sell Abbott Chancellor to Victor? 58% of you said yes, she made the right choice. 42 said no. I liked 2W that you put it simply, that it was Jill's point to make, or it's her choice to make, regardless of the reason. Is too bad, so sad, and everyone else could like it or lump it. Jill didn't make a rash decision. She was at peace, deciding upon what she saw as the best unfavorable option. Yeah, I agree. I think she made the right option. I think she did it in her right mind. And, it's unfortunate that it left Billy out in the cold. It's unfortunate that she didn't make some kind of offer to help him in some other way. Maybe I'm going to give you an advance on the payment that I'm receiving and you can start your own company. That would have been nice of her. But Marianne V voted no, Jill did not make the right decision. She says Jill should not have sold the company to Victor. He wins all the time. She should have let Billy run it with Lily. Billy is impulsive, but he really wanted this, and Lily is very good at running the company. She would have reined in Billy when he got too impulsive. Yeah, Jill tried that, though, didn't she? She tried it, and it didn't work out. I don't know. Heather says, I don't really think about what's best for Jill, personally, as far as drama and the show. I really don't like it at all. How many times are they going to beat up Billy and send him back to the ground to pick himself back up again with nobody there to really support him except one lonely lady that he'll end up sleeping with and that'll end up sleeping with him and messing that up, in this case, Sally, blah. You're right, Heather. It is like there's always only one lady who's the Billy supporter at a time, and she's sleeping with him. Heather also says, Allie's right. They took a fabulous character like Sally Spectra and made her into Sharon 2.0 with no degree and an edgier wardrobe. Ooh, by the way, where is Chloe? I miss her. How about opening up a Charlie's Angels detective agency with Sally, Audra, and Chloe, since Chance has no skills, and have them kick some ass? Lots of options for Charlie. How about real Charlie? How about Lily's son Charlie? He could be the Charlie. I like Chloe too. And to be perfectly honest with you, I'd take Chloe over Chelsea. Gasp. T. Nicole says, okay, Chelsea and Adam, you can get together now and be a family by Christmas. I don't really care, but what else are they doing? It looks like Billy and Sally are going to be a couple and hit the sheet before these two do again. Nailed that prediction, T. Nicole. But yeah, you know what? Here's the thing. I feel like Y&R is killing it with the drama right now, but they're not really killing it with the couples. I can honestly say I don't think that there is even one couple on the show right now that genuinely excites me. They're all fine, but that's really all they are. Fine. Victoria says Billy filled Jack in on his termination from Abbott Chancellor. He then pled his case to Jack. First, Billy listed the many ways he admires Jack. Next, he told Jack how he had learned so much from him. Finally, Billy asked Jack if he could fill the empty position and run Jabot by his side. Jack grimaced and said nothing. I felt for Billy as the silence stretched on. Of all people, Billy would never tell Victor Jack's plan. Jack should trust Billy and tell him Diane's not leaving. Jack is his big brother and should look out for him. I was also surprised that Jack didn't offer Billy another position. You know, that's true. Jack it was awkward. The whole thing was just awkward. Diana says, I don't know why Jack didn't do a better job explaining to Billy why he couldn't hire him at Jabot. Jack could have said a little more so that Billy understood it wasn't anything to do with Jack not wanting to hire Billy or not having confidence in his skills and abilities to run the company alongside Jack. Jack knows how upset his brother was after what his mother did. Jack probably could even have told Billy the truth about what he and Diane are doing. I'm pretty sure Billy would keep it confidential. It's a little silly, to be perfectly honest. We know it was done to create drama and tension in Billy's life. You know, especially, Jack should have just told Billy. I mean, it's not like Billy was going to turn around and tell Victor. And in the previews, Jack and Diane are telling everyone the truth. So why couldn't he have clued Billy in like a couple of hours earlier? Daisy says, as soon as Billy discovers Jack and Diane's ruse, I think he and Kyle should go before Jabot's board and try to get Jack ousted as CEO. Jack appointed his wife, the untrained Diane, as co-CEO of the company. She had previously left her family and returned to help Tucker McCall take over Jabot. During her time as co-CEO, Diane fired her son Kyle, who was trying to help her retain customers in support of the company. Jack Abbott's company. Oh, Jack fully supported her, not his son. Jack also refused to allow his brother Billy a future with his father John Abbott's company. Billy had stepped away from Jabot to help his ailing mother with her business, which she decided to sell to preserve her health. So technically the reasons are true. Billy and Kyle, though, don't have to point out all the details. I'm sure Jack would want to speak of their missteps, though, but then he'd have to speak about his own, which might just include his falling off the wagon and putting his friend's life in jeopardy. So I think Billy and Kyle might be able to get Jack fired. It would be really a different and interesting dynamic if they did, and maybe in the end, Jack being fired is what Victor wanted to happen after all. Ooh. You know, I like your point especially that Jabot is Billy's family company too. You know, everybody else has a chance to participate in it. And, you know, I think it was either Victoria or Diana said, why not offer Billy a different position, even if it's not co-CEO? Find something for him. It was awkward. Well, Connie says, will Kyle ever accept any accountability for his mistakes or inept business savvy? His arrogance is unbelievable. He gets conned and played by Victor, steals company secrets, throws Audra under the bus, gets fooled by his parents' charade, and gets fired. He lies, cheats, and steals, but has the unmitigated gall to take a room at the athletic club to sulk like someone did him wrong. And Sue W. says, Kyle is such a weenie and such a great soap character. He huffs and puffs his self-righteousness into everything, even as he inevitably falls from grace. And like all good soap studs, he just crumbles into a big pile of mush when entranced by a girl. I have gushed over Michael Mealor before, so I'm just repeating myself when I say he plays Y&R's blustery and easy on the eyes Kyle to perfection. Yeah, that's the thing. Kyle is a big whiny baby, but Michael Mealor plays it to perfection. I mean, you get it. You know who Kyle is. There's no question. It's very good. It's quite a skill to play so dumb and it really takes probably quite a bit of intelligence to play a character that is such a weenie. I don't think Kyle's dumb. I just think he's a weenie. Victoria, though, on the other hand, says Jack and Diane gave Kyle the full story of their ruse. Diane gave an emotional plea for Kyle to forgive them. And Jack and Diane's biggest defense was that they did what they did for Kyle's own good. Kyle can be insufferable. However, Kyle is an adult. Jack and Diane's plan to trick him with lies and betrayals so that he would behave a certain way was cruel. The only way out of this is to give Glissade to Kyle so that he can prove he is the clever businessman he claims. Yeah, that was the plan all along, and then Diane's kind of backing out of that. But I agree, Jack and Diane's plan was pretty cruel, and it leaves him feeling worse than ever. But what's up with Glissade? Steven says, what's the poison pill that Victor is leaving for Diane? Did Kyle just not notice? Or was it dropped post-wedding? My guess, Audra is the pill. Victor and Audra have treated us to a pantomime. When Diane gives Kyle Glissade, he will find an Audra surprise, which will certainly test his business acumen. Yes, I totally agree. It's got to have something to do with Audra. She's just waiting in the wings for whatever that plot is to flush out. But Victoria says, could it be that Victor has sold Jabot's new sunscreen product so that neither Glissade or Jabot can produce it? I mean, that could be. It's not super dramatic. Whatever the Trojan horse is inside of Glissade, I hope it's good and dramatic. Well, Gary says, it will be satisfying that after Victor castigates Sharon for what she's done to him, to learn that it was actually his own Aunt Jordan who did it all. And who he was not able to keep under control on her last visit. And if it was Jordan who did it, what? I just hope Victor, doesn't harp on the fact of how Sharon handled the situation once it was dumped on her, i.e. throwing Heather overboard and framing Daniel. Yeah, Victor's gonna hit the roof when he finds out that he didn't really take care of Jordan after all. Maybe he should have kept her locked in a cage. Well, Russell says, Phyllis is back! She is so mad and so intense. I loved it. And when she sees Sharon, it will be the fight of the century. She tore Chance a new one for his horrible policing blunders, and he was there not 5 minutes after she opened her eyes from her 1 second coma to ask her questions. He might want to go back to the business world. Yeah, Chance didn't stand a chance, did he? Born to be a fool there. Oh, Connie says, everyone seems to be looking forward to Phyllis having her showdown scene with Sharon. For me, I can't wait for her to see Michael. She will clean his clock or rip out his heart with guilt. Probably both, then some. Those two characters always bring it, and those two actors will amaze us. Ooh, yes, Connie, I totally agree. I can't wait to see Michael and Phyllis coming face to face. She is going to be heartbroken, and he better be contrite. Hey, Russell says, I felt bad for Chance when Summer pulled away and said they shouldn't see each other for a while. He was doing his job, following the overwhelming evidence. Now he could have looked closer at Sharon, but she was the last person to see Heather, so he's not the smartest, but at least he's handsome. And he really cares for Summer. Yeah, Stephen with an opposing says, Summer should dump Chance in the nearest dumpster, figuratively, of course. Chance had every opportunity to follow up on the investigation, but decided early on that it was all over for Daniel. No looking at the timeline and when the killing happened, when or where the body was dumped in the river, or how it was moved before being dumped. Sure, it would have been wrong to investigate Sharon for murder without evidence, but excluding her as a suspect or including Daniel by chasing down the timelines to the last minute, that's what detectives do. Ooh, I think this is a good place for a poll question. Guys, should Summer dump Chance? YRChat.com, that's our question of the week. Is she right to dump him, or is she making a big mistake right now? Well, let's talk about Ian and Jordan, because Russell says Ian and Jordan having a celebratory steak and asparagus dinner with a glass of Cabernet. I know that crappy hotel room doesn't have room service like that, so they must have ordered Uber Eats. I guess the champagne is on its way from DoorDash. Someone speculated that they were looking for payback for the family taking Claire and Mariah, and it looks like they were right. I am glad Mariah and Tessa will have a better storyline for a change. Let's see what they can do. I can't wait to see how they explain how Ian and Jordan pulled this off with Sharon. Seems really, really far out there. Yeah, there's still so much to be revealed about exactly how that plot went down. But I agree with you that it'll be nice to see Mariah and Tessa having a story. Tessa maybe being there to support Mariah, because Mariah's really already very upset at the idea that her mother could have done this, and she's believing that her mother really couldn't have done this. So you never know. Mariah could be the one to uncover the fact that Ian and Jordan were behind it all. Sharon W. says, I'm loving the close friendship, in quotes, between Jordan and Ian. There's a lot of push and pull between them as they start to argue and then remind each other that they make a good team. We found out on Wednesday that Ian was the one that was able to break Jordan out of prison. I'm curious why two top-notch criminals like these two can't do some elaborate disguises so that they could get a room at the athletic club. I'll remind you that Phyllis was able to pull that off. Is there a romantic relationship between Ian and Jordan? I was wondering that, the fact that they're sharing a hotel room there. Well, Keisha says, Paul and Nikki were in each other's orbit when Nikki joined Ian Ward's cult back in the day. Paul was involved in bringing Ian Ward down in 2013, so there's a connection with Paul and his prosecutor daughter, Heather Stevens. I'm starting to wonder if Paul really had a heart attack. Sharon played a role in bringing down Ian because of his connection to Mariah. I mean, he bought Mariah when she was a baby, he drugged Mariah and married her, and we all know that Jordan is the master of disguises. I would bet dollars to donuts that Jordan was sitting somewhere close, wearing a beard, listening to Sharon publicly lashing out at Heather, Daniel, Lucy, and Phyllis. Jordan and Ian may have been waiting for just the right moment, and Sharon came along with everything they needed. Oh, Ian Ward bought Mariah when she was a baby? Yuck! Of all the yucks, that's the biggest yuck. And then he tried to marry her? Wow, that yuck just got bigger. Woo! Well, let's end on a couple of classy notes here. Lara says, the piano piece that Nikki played, Allie, was Claire de Lune by Claude Debussy. Among various selections at the wedding, I heard my all-time favorite work of chamber music, Schubert's C major string quintet. Dang, Lara. Classing up the place with your musical knowledge. Can you stop by more often, please? Shoo, I am impressed. Woo. And Michelle says, Ian Ward said crisscross in reference to the Hitchcock film Strangers on a Train, where two people meet for the first time and plot to commit each other's target for murder. Oh! So crisscross, when he said that, I thought that was very notable. So it's a reference to a Hitchcock film where the same plot was happening. They're committing murder for each other. Dangity dang dang. Look at us this week, chatters. Lara with the classic music knowledge and Michelle with the classic movie knowledge. The bar has been raised. And I am telling you, I have raised the bar with the Y&R Chat flashback special about the ranch. Genoa City Soap is where you gotta go to get that. It is really, really good. And yrchat.com, of course, is where you can go to leave your comments about Y&R, vote in the polls, see all the photos, and reveal the Who Said It quote. Oh, I love you guys, and I hope you have a really good week. I will see you next time. Bye.